Good morning, friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today is the day, the inaugural planting of the long, skinny driveway bed. We're going to put our summer annuals in here, and I have got a beautiful selection of proven winter annuals that are going to go in here. We are going to keep it simple, sweetie, but it is going to be in mass, and we are going to add some gorgeous color that will take us through all the way to the fall till a hard freeze. Very excited about this space. So we're going to be adding 3 different annuals, but in mass, to make a huge impact. But before we start planting, we have got to put down some irrigation. The irrigation is set up in this bed, but it is not completely hooked up. So we're going to do a little irrigation work first, and then we are going to go ahead and get planting. So let me show you the plants, let me show you the space, give you an overview of where we are and exactly kind of my thought process on how these plants are going to go into the ground. So first of all, we have got the back of the John Deere is full of these beautiful plants. I'm going to show you the plants here in detail in just a second, but this is the space that we're going to go ahead and plant. This is that new bed that we installed late summer, early fall. This spring, it had 700 yellow tulips in it, and it was absolutely spectacular. But it is time to go ahead and put in those summer annuals. So it is a long, skinny bed. It's probably 4 feet wide. I'm not going to use all the way the width over because we've talked about this before. I want to leave plenty of room from the flower bed to the grass, so when Chandler comes through and cuts and weed eats, he's not battling the plants. So this is the space, and you can see that we have 3 different irrigation tubes popping out. This is already hooked into the main irrigation system. We just have to add our drip lines, which are down here. So let's talk about the plants first. Coming on down here, I set up all my tools so that we could have a nice little discussion about them. So what we're going to do first on the front row are the double up pink begonias. I love these plants, y'all. They are so easy. They can do sun or shade. They're going to be in that they're going to be the shortest of the 3 plants, in that 8 to 18 inches tall. Mine never get the 18 inches tall. They get wider than they do tall. Beautiful, nice wax begonia, waxy leaves, nice, soft, baby doll pink double blooms. They will be absolutely covered in these flowers. Nice mounded habit. So they're going to go on the front all the way down. The next layer is going to be just an absolute surefire winner of a plant that we adore. This is the Diamond Frost Euphorbia. Has that nice light white airy look to it. It's rated as full to part sun. This is definitely going to be a full sun flower bed, but I have used Diamond Frost in shady areas many times, and it is a great option. This is going to be 12 to 18 inches. So that is going to go behind the double up pinks. Give me that nice, soft, romantic, airy look with that nice pop of white, and it will be a solid sheet of white going down. And then the third layer, my tallest layer, are the Sun Patience. I personally adore Sun Patience. They are so easy. They are great performers. They handle the heat and humidity like absolute champions. This year, we are going to be using the Compact Blush Pink. Very nice, soft pink. You can see that the new blooms have a little bit of a richer color. As they mature, they kind of turn almost a white with that pink veining in them. And the Compact Blush Pink is going to be about 16 to 30 inches tall. They get some really nice height to them, but this combo is so incredibly easy to take care of. These plants, I have used all 3 of these for years. They are just low maintenance, but going to be absolutely spectacular as they go down the entire length of this flower bed. So when I was thinking about what I wanted to do for this flower bed, I knew I wanted the double up pinks. So first I was thinking, okay, I'll just do the double up pinks. And then I was like, well, I might need something a little extra. So then I'm thinking, do I put a grass in there? Well, I could put a grass, but if I did a grass, I'd probably do it on the back and then it would get too big and Chandler would be fighting it. I don't want that to happen because I don't want to put something like to break up the line. I want it to be one continuous planting of the same thing. So that way when you're looking at it, your eye travels and it's very easy on the eye. And so whether you're coming into the house and your eye just follows that, and then that will lead you, of course, to the cottage garden, the terrace garden, hydrangea hill, all of this over here. So it will lead the eye really easy to this space. So that's why I didn't put a grass in the middle, you know, so many feet down, or coleus or what have you. So this is just kind of this is the combo that I came up with this year. Very excited. Also, we're going to have rabbit resistance on this because if you followed us, especially in the last year, you know that I have battled some rabbits. Wax begonias are great for rabbit resistant. I had great success with them last year in the patio area where those rabbits were pesky. So we shouldn't have a problem with rabbits with these guys. I don't have a problem with deer. We have deer, they leave us alone, so I don't have an issue with deer. What I'm going to be doing is, because as far as the bed prep, this is a new bed, right? And when we planted it, we added tons of organic matter in here. There's tons and tons and tons. So I do not need to add it this year. Probably next year, I will need to add some organic matter in here, but I do not this year because it is a brand new bed and it has already been amended. What I will do is, before I plant, I will put my biotone fertilizer down, and I will put my the Proven Winners, that continuous plant food. That's that slow release fertilizer. Put it in there. None of these plants are heavy feeders whatsoever. So between the biotone and that slow release fertilizer from Proven Winners, this will really get me through the entire season. That and the fact that I have tons of organic matter in here. So I may water soluble fertilize this 3 times this summer, and that is it. They are not heavy feeders, and so that will be really another reason that we love this. The plant tone is for my Roman candle yew that is down here on the end, so we need to feed her. So I have that. So that's how we're going to do the bed prep. But before we do anything, we've got to lay down the irrigation. So we do have, you will see the 3 pipes. There's 1, 2, and then 3. So these are all connected in to the irrigation lines. This is, I want to say, I didn't ask Jerry before he left. I want to say it's 1/2 inch. I think it's 1/2 inch irrigation line, and it has emitters every 12 inches. So because we are in North Carolina, we are historically pretty wet, right? We're definitely humid. I have clay soil. I do not have to lay down irrigation like somebody that maybe is in a high desert zone, right? So I'm going to have basically one big circle. It's going to come in the front, and then it's going to come in the back. And that's going to be plenty for these annuals. Again, so they have those emitters built in. So you see those little holes, that is my emitter, and it will just drip. And then there's another one somewhere. There we go. I think it's every 12 inches. This may be 18. This is by Rainbird. Whether it's 12 or 18, it does not matter. It will be plenty of moisture for these plants. If you notice the yellow and you're like, oh gosh, Jenny, what is that yellow? That's pollen, my friends. This was laying on the ground and the pollen collected on it. So it has been a very pollenous season here in the South. So what I will do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to cut this line a bit, and I am going to put it on a T. So we'll cut it. Well, if I can hold on to it, the bottom of the T will go into this piece, and then the 2 sides will go into these guys. So we're going to put T's on all 3 of the lead lines here, and have one straight line coming around, and then we're going to loop it around, and there'll be a line coming in the back, and then we'll tie it back in. So it will be a continuous loop of the water. That way we don't lose water pressure. So this is basically one zone. And so you want to, that's the reason why Jerry put these 3 liter hoses on here, because underneath there is, I believe it's a 1-inch PVC line that those are connected into. So you want to have that great water pressure in order to shoot that water out. Typically, because people will ask how often we're going to run it, probably in the heat of the summer, we'll just set it automatic. It'll run once a day. we'll have to play with it because this is a new bed, but I'm thinking 15 minutes at the most, maybe 10 minutes. So we really do not have to water, all things considered, very much, especially for these guys, because I have grown these guys multiple years with zero irrigation, and they have done phenomenal. So we may find that 10 minutes, 15 minutes is way too much. We only need to get down 5. Maybe we only need to water it when, you know, it's really hot and dry. We'll just have to play around with it. That's the thing about watering and irrigating your plants. It's not a set formula that I can say you absolutely need to do it this amount on these many days, because everybody's climate is different, your soil is different, your weather is different. It is a huge variable in gardening. You want them to have moisture, but not soaking wet. So without further ado, I am going to get the irrigation hooked up. That way we can start planting. Once everybody is planted and in the ground, then we're going to come back with the Daddy Pete mulch and that top dress with this aged pine bark fines, because that is the mulch that we are using. I am not going to use my Power Planter 5-inch auger today, simply because this is extremely soft soil. So I will be able to basically get my hory and just like pull it and drop it in. So there's no need to use the auger, I don't think, on this one. So yeah, let's get the irrigation in, and then I'm gonna lay everything out, and then I'll show you the design. All right, my friends, so Jackson was here with me. So we got the irrigation laid down. I'll show you that. And then I went ahead and got the biotone in, the slow release fertilizer laid down, and the plants laid out. Now, I fully recognize that this is a lot of plants. I am going for big impact here, right? So when you pull up to the house, this is going to be the first thing that you're going to see. So I do want to have a big attraction right here and to make a huge impact. I went with the minimum spacing and or less, because life is too short for minimum spacing. We just jam these babies in here. It is in the landscape. That's the beautiful thing about putting them in the landscape, right? Is that they have unlimited amount of room for their roots to go. So they are in here, and it is going to be spectacular. Even Jackson was like, Mama, this is going to be really, really pretty. So let me just show you. It is hard right now to get the irrigation to lay down because the soil here is so soft. So hopefully as we're able to get the plants in, we'll be able to get this and lay it down. And of course I have my staples, but like I said, the soil is so tilthy and soft that they just kind of pop right out. So we'll work on that. But basically we have one sweet thing here to inspect. So we'll see what he has to say about that in a minute. But the double up pinks are down here. On the double up pinks, it said the minimum spacing is 10 inches, and these blocks are 10 inches wide. So I tried to go ahead and put them one on a line. So that made me get my 10 inches, and it's kind of like 10 inches on center. Now these, you may notice, are in bigger pots. These are in grande size pots, not grande, excuse me, quart size pots, because when we were potting up our plants, we had run out of the grandes. We didn't have any grandes, we didn't have any black pots, and the only thing we had were the quart size pots that we were recycling from the nursery. So these are beautiful quart size begonias that are going in here. So I mean, they just go all the way down, y'all. And then with the Diamond Frost, same thing. Minimum spacing is 10 inches. So what I did is when I had two, I just went in the middle and placed those in there. Those are like a 4-inch square container, but just going in there, try to give lots of room between this way so everybody could fill in. But as far as this goes, I want them to look like one massive wall on all of them. So I want it to look like one huge long begonia, one huge long diamond frost, and then with the impatiens, they are too close to each other because I ran out of room down on the other end. So as I plant, I will space them out further. But again, leaving lots of room between the impatient and then the back side of the grass. And especially right here, we have that Bermuda grass, Johnson grass, whatever you want to call it, that the birds had brought in. We had battled that all the time, even when the grass was here. And so now it's still there. It's one of those grasses that spreads by runners. It is an absolute nightmare to get rid of. And so leaving that nice long space right there and just coming in and spraying it. I mean, that's the only way. If you tried even just to dig the roots out, because they go down and they're just a nightmare. So we will keep that sprayed to keep them from coming in to the impatiens and try to get rid of that once and for all. But yeah, I mean, all the way down. And it is one big loop as far as the irrigation goes. Again, I am in North Carolina. I am wet and humid. I do not need to have a row of irrigation on the begonias, a row for the diamond frost, and a row for the impatiens. I would drown my plants. So 2 is absolutely sufficient, especially once these roots get going, because it will just go in there and dampen everything, and they will have plenty of water. So you can see as we come down here where I've got, I don't know, 2 feet that I need to, because these are really close to each other. I just need to kind of bring everybody down just a little bit, and we'll make it all the way down. Went ahead and stopped here because this lamb's ear is extremely happy. This is the Helen von Stein, whatever the giant lamb's ear is. That is what this is. Y'all, these things love this spot. I mean, love it. So I can imagine when the begonia is full grown and this continues to grow, that they're going to overlap each other, which is fine. They can grow into each other. It's not a big deal. And so we've got plenty of room here with this diamond frost and the lamb's ear. So we'll just kind of bring the impatient to about right here, and then we will be good to go. So all I'm going to do now is nothing fancy, y'all. Just take them out of the pot, pull the soil back, plop them in, bring the soil back to it. Easy as that. There's a bunch of them in here, but we're just going to get it done. But I think it's going to be absolutely spectacular. So excited to get this done. Ta-da! The project is complete today, my friends. Could not be happier with how it looks. So let's just take a little quick look-see, shall we? It was not bad at all as far as planting them, just a little time consuming. You can see that I did go ahead and water them in. The plants were nice and moist when I planted them. The ground is relatively damp and it's supposed to rain this afternoon and tomorrow, but I just wanted to make sure that everybody got nice and watered in. Of course, it starts to activate some of that slow release fertilizer. But everybody is in. Again, could not be happier with it. I just think this is going to be a very lush, full, kind of a romantic look to it. That diamond frost brings a little bit of elegance to the space. And you can really see, like with this sun patient that has a lot of blooms on it, kind of gives you that idea of how the space is going to look once it is nice and bigger and everybody is blooming. Just a really nice, sweet, sweet look to this space. Also, can we take a moment, please, and appreciate the azaleas that are in a full bloom? Of course, North Carolina, the South, we are known for our azaleas here in the springtime. These guys are doing quite lovely. This is just the old-timey azaleas. You can see we have them again up here, that they bloom once a year. But you know what? That is all right because they look like they do right now, and all is well. So this space, what do I need to do to it? Well, really not much of anything. One, I told Jerry, I was like, the weather better cooperate and it better not get a freeze, because I'm going to be very upset because I'll have to come out here and cover these guys. The weather looks like it should be fine, but you never know. Crazier things have happened. So that's the only thing, is just kind of watch the weather for the next couple of weeks. Make sure we don't have a frost or a freeze. And yeah, just make sure they get consistent water over especially the next 2 weeks. With my annuals, I find that the first 2 weeks are kind of the most important. And as long as they get sufficient water during that time, then they typically will get a really strong root system and be just fine. We've not turned on any of our irrigation yet because we do seem to have enough rain that's coming through. Like just the other day, we got 2 inches of rain. So like I said, it's supposed to rain some maybe this afternoon and then some tomorrow. So I'll just keep an eye on it. That's the great thing about impatiens. They will let you know when they are dry because they'll get limpy on you. So thankfully, I have a hose link just right here at the house. It will stretch all the way to that corner. In fact, that is what I used, and can water it in really easily. So that shouldn't be a problem. And then once the heat really hits, then we'll turn on the irrigation, because right now, the annuals are the only thing that would need irrigation. Everything in the terrace garden has been there and is established, and they don't really need any water. Before I leave you, I want to give you a quick little garden tour of the shade space that is right here on the side of the house, because y'all, it is starting to wake up and fill in, and oh my goodness, so happy with this space. Of course, this little strip of a garden is a shade garden because of the house. The house gives it the shade. It gets some nice morning sun, but this time of the day, it is in the shade. And look at the Solomon seal. Y'all, if you do not have Solomon seal in your garden, I would highly encourage you to get some. This is a great perennial that is beautiful. You can get all different kinds of different cultivars. This is just that typical kind of that variegated, beautiful, but they will all do their flowers in the spring on the underneath side, and they look like little bells when they open up. This is just started to bloom. As you saw that bee, the pollinators do love Solomon seal, and it will spread. It naturalizes. Now, generally speaking, it's very easy to control. You can see that it has spread into this euchera. But Solomon seal, they have very superficial root systems. It's like a rhizome, very much like an iris. So they're really easy to pop out. So I could easily come in here and pop this out, and I will, so that way the euchera can breathe. But I simply adore Solomon seal. I mean, it makes a beautiful, beautiful stand in the garden, and you can see how it has spread. You know, we had 2 different clumps, and back here, the white wedding, panicle hydrangea from Southern Living, doing really well. I told you before in a previous video that typically I would plant things behind here, but it was really kind of overshadowing the hydrangea, and the hydrangea was looking lopsided. So I'm not going to plant any annuals back here, and I can already tell that everything's going to be fine, because look at all this beautiful new growth right here. That will pop up and it will fill in. So all is well. I'm just not going to have any annuals back here this year. And with the way that the Solomon seal is doing, I don't need any. Now, typically where my annuals go, there's no perennials in here. So typically, you know, from the ghost fern and then all the way down, there's that other euchera, then I will put in some shade annuals, whether it's that Endless Illumination Broalia or my double impatiens, the Rocapucos. So there you go. These are ghost ferns. They are waking up and doing quite lovely as well. The Lenten Rose, she is still going strong. I mean, look at that. She's just a champion, I tell you. And then y'all, you sweet people in those colder zones, you told me, you're like, Jenny, hang on, your eucharellas and your eucharas and eucharellas will come back. And she did. Look at that. So coming back nice and strong, doing really well. Have the fronds forever. That's a new fern from Proven Winners. It's coming back. Somebody was asking where the Sun Kings were. Well, there they are, my friends. They are beginning to emerge from dormancy. And this has literally just happened within the last couple of days. So clearly that older foliage has been here for those couple of days. And then very much like a fern, you come in here where there's mulch is pooching up, and you can see those are all those little fronds that are coming up. So I have 2 of them here. And if you remember, in a very short amount of time, they are going to be like above this window box, this hay rack. So what I will do, I mean, they literally take up from here all the way to here. Oftentimes, I think that my hellebore is dead because it comes so far forward. I'll kind of, quote, lose my brunnera. So I kind of have to keep it in check. I probably shouldn't have planted 2, but they just love this spot and it's gorgeous. So it is what it is. And then of course the hostas are coming up and the brunnera. Let's not skip the brunnera. Look at that. I don't remember if this is Jack of Diamonds or Queen of Hearts. Either way, she's gorgeous with those beautiful true blue flowers. Stunning. And painted fern here. The chartreuse hostas, that is Wiggles and Squiggles. So they are doing well. Then we have tiara here, golden tiara. Don't remember what those are, just great generic ones. And then the holly fern, y'all, I never got a chance to come in here and clean up the old foliage. So I need to get in there and clean up that old foliage that is there. But she is coming back with a beautiful vengeance. I love it. And then the classic, look at these, bleeding hearts. Oh my gosh, y'all. Is this not just the most like romantic, sweetest, like epitome of spring perennial? Love it. I mean, they are just absolutely covered. And I hear Hummer. I don't know where he is, but I hear him squeaking. He's probably mad at me because the hummingbird feeder is right here. He's up in a tree and he's fussing. He's probably like, get out of the way, I'm hungry. Oh, so let's do this right quick. So Mimi, she has full reign to come in here. Look at that Jack in the Pulpit. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So pretty. And then there were some other ones in here too, but some babies. So it is very happy here. And then she gave me trillium. They're kind of on the end of their cycle right here. So the trilliums are getting done. And then there was some, oh shoot, what were these? Or maybe they're type of trillium too. Wood hyacinth? Not wood hyacinth. I don't know. Anyway, Mimi's stuff right there. And then, so Wiggles and Squiggles, and then White Feather. Is White Feather just not spectacular? So it comes out this creamy white, and then you can see that it is starting to take on a little bit of the green hues. So by the end of the summer, it is completely green, but when it first comes out, it is this gorgeous white. So incredibly beautiful. I just love this. Everything's filling in and coming along quite nicely. Now, if you are one of those astute observers, you will notice my lovely dead, dried, completely dried out evergreen foliage. I told you people, I said, this is why sometimes I don't like doing arrangements. Now, I knew full and well what was happening, but we have baby birds in there. So there's baby birds in there. I've been hearing them squeak and squawk all afternoon when I've been working. They're quiet now because I'm standing right here. So as soon as the babies fly the nest, this will be out and we can plant that. So don't judge me right here. We have a little bit of a nursery situation going on. So we got some babies in there. And so once they get out of here, then we can take care of that as well. So yeah, I'll take care of all the hay racks because they're looking a little sad. But hey, we got plenty of time, y'all. What is looking fabulous right here is that new planting. Brenna can tell she's very happy where she is. And then having those azaleas back there makes me happy as well. So my friends, I hope y'all have an amazing day. If you're able to get out in your garden, I hope you're able to do that. If you found this fun, informative, and inspirational, we would love it if you would like and subscribe to Gardening with Creekside. That way you don't miss those 5 videos that we do every week. I hope that you have found a plant. If you have found one plant that you're like, that would be really cool to add in my garden, that is all I ever want to do, is just to help inspire you, give you some education, give you some thought-provoking situations, because remember, no two gardens are anything alike, right? My garden is my garden. Your garden is your garden. Even though I and my mama, we live, you know, just a little bit away from each other, a couple hundred yards away from each other, our gardens could not be more absolutely different. So this is never about that you create a garden just like mine. You create your garden, your space that you love and that you enjoy. I'm just hoping to give you a little bit of tidbit, introduce you to some plants, give you some education on how to garden, especially here in the South with the heat and humidity and the clay. That is why we do these videos, because we want to inspire you and educate you so that you can have the garden that you have always wanted to have in your space. Y'all have an amazing day. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.